Hey guys, it's Karin. I've been making videos for quite a while now, so I thought I'd let you guys know some facts about me. Let's start with some basic facts. As I said before, my name is Karin and it's actually spelled with an I. I am Chinese American and I was born and raised in San Francisco. My parents are from China. And if you're curious, because Chinese people love talking about where they're from, my parents are from Guangzhou, which is southern China. So I do speak Cantonese, and my Cantonese is actually pretty bad, and I don't read any Chinese. I was in Chinese school for a long time, and I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I wasted all your money. I was born and raised in San Francisco, and the only other place I've lived in was Los Angeles for school. I mentioned earlier that I took Chinese classes and I just was a really bad student and didn't retain anything. There's a lot of motorcycles outside. So just to show you how bad I am at languages, but how much I am in denial about how bad I am at languages, let me tell you about how many languages I've studied. So English is my first language. Cantonese is the next one. Mandarin, because I went to Chinese school. Japanese I took in high school for 2 years, I think. I pretty much only cared about food. For an art history major in my university, you had to take 5 quarters of language to fulfill your major requirement. I could have taken a test on Japanese or Chinese, but I was so bad at both of them that there was no way that I could pass a test. So I took 2 quarters of Italian. And I was so bad at Italian, I was like saying random Spanish instead of Italian, and I don't know why, because I never took Spanish. I can't take the next quarter of Italian because my base was so bad, right? So I was like, okay, go back to the drawing board, let's try a new language, because that's how my brain works. So me being overly confident about everything I do, I took an accelerated summer course on French language. 12 weeks of classes, and it's Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon, and you just learn French. And this is supposed to cover 3 quarters, which is a year's worth of French in those 10 to 12 weeks, which is insane. It was the worst idea ever. I was lost by the first week. It was really rough, you guys. So that's the story of how I learned 5 languages, and I'm absolutely garbage in most of them. I really love traveling and eating, hence the theme of my channel. It's all just travel and food and traveling for food. And I wish you could eat food to travel, but that doesn't work that way. I haven't actually been to a ton of places. When we were young, we would do mostly road trips because that's an affordable way of vacationing, and in California it's great. It's a very American thing to do. Like leaving the country, I've only been to Canada and China when I was little. And when I grew up, I began traveling a little bit more. So it started when I went to study abroad in France, which I actually ended up doing twice. And I also have since visited Japan. And I really want to just keep going all over the place. My dream is to see all of the major museums in the world. If you guys follow me on Little Art Talks, which is an educational YouTube channel on art and art history that I run, I am obsessed with art. A lot of people ask me how I afford to travel so much, and the funny thing is I'm actually not traveling most of the time. I do have a lot of vlog footage that is edited and posted after the fact, so when I'm done traveling, I'll come back and slowly edit a lot of videos. I still have a lot of footage from Japan that I never edited. When I'm not traveling, I do have not a regular job, but I do have a job. I co-founded a company with my sister called Art & Cove, where we make bags and backpacks, And our newest bag is a travel bag. Because of what I do on this channel, it's kind of perfect. It's anti-theft and waterproof, and it's going to be launched on Indiegogo in October, so I've been super busy preparing for that. If you want to check it out, head on over to artandcove.com and sign up for our mailing list so you'll be notified when the Indiegogo is up. I'm definitely the type of person who has a few but very good close friends. I'm not a very outgoing. I am kind of outgoing but not super outgoing, and I'm definitely an introvert. My Myers-Briggs personality type is INTP, which apparently in Star Wars Myers-Briggs it's Yoda. Cause yeah, I really love notebooks. I have like a lot of different notebooks and they're each for like a different thing. So I have one for this vlog channel, I have one for Little Art Talks, I have one for Art and Cove. I got like my own camera when I was in elementary school too, and it was just like a regular point and shoot, and back then it was a film camera. I would like get my mom to buy rolls of film so that I could use my like dinky little point and shoot, but I would always use it indoors instead of like outside, and I wouldn't use flash when I needed to use flash. So I just had tons and tons of pictures of like just blackness. And I think at some point my mom just refused to buy me more film because she was like, you're just wasting all this money. Everything changed when I got my first digital camera, which was in high school. So I got my own camera that I got to like carry around. I would bring it to school. I would carry it everywhere with me. It probably wasn't a good idea because I could have been robbed. I've always been a pretty like tech savvy person. Even when I was a kid, I learned, HTML and CSS on my own because I thought it was cool to like decorate your like stupid little websites. I did all sorts of weird things. I really like listening to music, even though I don't know a ton about music. I'll list some artists that I like, and if you guys know what they are, you can give me some recommendations of music, and that'll be really fun. You know when you're a kid and they always ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you have to like fill out some paper and tell people, when I grow up, I want to be blah, blah, blah. I would always say I wanted to be a teacher. I thought I would grow up and be like my mom, who was a payroll accountant. And that would have been a really bad idea because I'm so bad with numbers. But I always say teacher because I liked teachers and I liked the idea of being a veterinarian. Because I liked dogs and cats. But I would always say teacher because I knew how to spell teacher, which was way easier to spell than veterinarian. My worst subjects in school were spelling and arithmetic. I'm very good at like understanding concepts and applying concepts, but memorizing things are really hard for me, especially numbers. So fun fact, I never memorized the multiplication table. Like my parents made my sister memorize the multiplication table. Like they would quiz her, like with many things. They got to me and they're like, I already did it once with your older sister. She figured it out. You'll be fine. And I took a lot of math classes. Like I wasn't bad at math, like in terms of grades, which is the craziest thing. My favorite class in high school was probably biology. Another funny story about me as a kid is that as someone who is very passionate about education, like I run an educational YouTube channel, I was not a good student for most of my life, like probably not until high school. And that is a lot because I daydreamed a ton in elementary and middle school. I just could not pay attention at all. I would just be like off in my own little bubble. I would forget like homework assignments. I would just like not even know they existed because I was daydreaming when the teacher was talking about it. I've never broken any bones, knock on wood, but I have twisted my ankle twice, and I'm pretty sure it's been the same ankle. I suffer from migraines, and I actually get ocular migraines as well, which basically it's like when you get little white spots, like halos in your vision. And some people only get one or the other, but I get both, which is really fun. I'm definitely a morning person. The one thing I need to wear every day is sunscreen. I studied abroad twice, both times in France, but in different parts of France. So the first program was in La Napoule, which is the southern part of France by the French Riviera. It was beautiful, by the beach. We lived in a freaking castle. And then part of the program was in Paris. And then I did another program that was in sort of the middle of nowhere countryside France. And I just painted and drew all day, every day. That summer, everything we made about 450 things. I think someone counted, and we picked out like a handful of our favorites, shipped them back to America, and burned the rest of them in a bonfire. Yep, it was amazing. A lot of times in my videos, I'm quite positive and happy and smiley, but I'm actually quite, not really a cynical person, but I'm quite sarcastic in real life with my friends. So a lot of times I'll say kind of harsh things knowing that they're kind of harsh, and I play off of that, and it's just my sense of humor. So let's talk about college for a while. First of all, I'm 25 years old, so I'm a couple years out of college already. I went to UCLA. I was a double major in fine arts and art history. I don't have a driver's license, which is actually kind of a stereotypical San Francisco thing. I have taken the written test actually twice now, and I just haven't taken the test to actually get my license. Maybe it will happen this year. I actually never learned how to ride a bike either. And that's just another thing that my parents taught my sister and never taught me. I only have one sister, by the way. She's 3 years older. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen her in my videos. And she's one of my best friends. She's amazing. I work with her, obviously, but I really respect her. And, you know, all throughout life, I actually owe a lot to my sister because she is so smart and driven and dedicated and giving and everything like that. She has taken care of me a lot when I was younger, and even now. I said before, I wasn't a really good student until high school. A lot of the reason why I became a better student is because of my sister. My sister was a very good student. She was like straight A's, everything. So when I reached high school, my goal in high school was to just be the same, if not better, but like especially just the same as my sister. And because I was just determined to like be like not worse than my sister, I ended up having good grades and ended up doing like pretty well in school and going to a good school and stuff like that. So it's all because of you, Carmen. Can one of my facts be that I'm an auntie? Because I kind of love being an auntie. When I was younger, I was like, I don't know if I really like kids. Like, I've tutored kids a lot when I was younger. My experiences have always been kind of mediocre, which is why I'm like not a teacher. I would not be a good teacher. But since I've become an auntie, like, I was like, oh yeah, this kid's not too bad. It's just kind of hilarious being an auntie. And like the best part is that I can like just play with her as much as I want to, and then when she starts getting sassy, I give her back to her mom. I really freaking like just love eating, which if you can't tell from this channel, I just really freaking love to eat like everything. I'm not a very picky eater. There's only a few things that I don't really prefer, but even if I don't prefer them, I would still eat them. If I'm with someone who is not a very adventurous eater, I am that annoying person who will be like, you should try this. You should try this. Like, this is so crazy. Like, you should try this. Part of it is because I want to share things that I like and like give them this new experience that I think is really exciting. And part of it is because I'm like making fun of them for like having very arbitrary things they don't like. But if I like something, like I want to share things I love with people I care about. So it comes from a place of love, okay? If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, for all of my meals, it would be sushi. And viewers of my other videos know I say sushi a lot instead of sushi or sushi. Working on that. I've thought about this because sushi you can eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's not super savory or super sweet. Sushi is always just good. I want some sushi now. I love that you guys love sushi too. Like, my most popular videos are my sushi videos, and I love that you guys love it because honestly, like, now I can just have an excuse to eat sushi all the time and like videotape it all. I'll be like, this is for people, like people want to see this. My ultimate cheater answer for that though would be like noodle soup, and just like be very general so that I could eat all the noodle soups. Like I could eat chicken noodle soup, but also like pho and all the Chinese noodle soups, like wonton noodle soup and all the Korean, like all of them. If I were to break up this question, this is so me. I'm going to use all my facts on food. If you can only eat one breakfast, one lunch, and one dinner, and one dessert, what would you pick? Lunch and dinner, I don't really know what the difference would be. So maybe that should just be sushi. But breakfast, I could eat like avocado toast, maybe with some other things on top every day. I love avocado so much. Guacamole is so good. I really like ice cream, but I can't eat it a ton. I am slightly lactose intolerant, so I try not to eat too much dairy, but you know, ice cream is worth it. I really love macarons, whatever, however you say those things. Any like French pastry is so good. I would like have one every morning when I was studying abroad, or every afternoon. I'm not actually sure how many facts that is because I wasn't keeping track. I'm gonna edit this video and count how many facts that is, and then do another video to continue on to 50 because I have been filming for ages and I can't think of any more facts. I hope this video was fun for you guys. Ask me any questions if you have any questions, and then I'll film a part 2 onwards to 50, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!